Namaste and welcome to the second session of our first course on Bhagavad Gita, which is first step into the Bhagavad Gita. So in our second session, what we are going to focus is four topics. We are going to see what exactly is Bhagavad Gita. Second topic we are going to see is the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita. When you talk about Bhagavad Gita, what exactly is the subject matter covered by the Bhagavad Gita? The third topic is, what is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? And finally, we are going to conclude this today's class by explaining the structure of the Bhagavad Gita. Before we go to the actual verses of the Bhagavad Gita, it's very important that we understand some foundations, some fundamentals, which helps us to understand or unlock the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Before we go to the second lesson, let's see what exactly we covered in our first lesson. So in the first lesson, we talked about why the Project Self team initiated this project. But apart from that, the major topic we covered was, in a world of artificial intelligence, in this digital age where all the informations are available in our fingertip, what is the relevance of studying a 5,000-year-old scripture like Bhagavad Gita? So we tried to deep dive into that topic. We acknowledge the fact that the modern science and the development of science and technology has given us a lot of comforts. In fact, it changed the way we live, and the comforts and the facilities and the longevity of our life, it cannot be even imagined. That's a great blessing for the humanity. But the problem we found was the happiness paradox. We thought that by getting all these comforts, we will be completely happy. But the fact that using statistics we have seen, using the report released by the various government bodies, we have seen that even though the GDP has doubled in the last 30-40 years, GDP per capita has doubled by 2 times, but there's no change in the happiness, and sometimes you feel that the happiness is coming down. So this is a paradox, and that is the relevance of Gita's teaching. We found that the Gita will help you to direct us to the appropriate place where we can look for happiness. If we look the happiness outside, we saw that with step-by-step evaluation, we saw that happiness is not everlasting happiness. We need to learn an art of living, trying to live very efficiently, effectively in this life. And that is the teaching provided by the Bhagavad Gita, and that is the relevance of the Bhagavad Gita in 21st century. And this issue was relevant 5,000 years back, and that issue is even relevant right now. And we found that even though we are getting a lot of education in the modern world, this particular point is not clearly taught in the modern curriculum, even though there is an attempt right now to talk about that. But that is the relevance of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita helps me to find happiness in the midst of all these stressful life. One more point we discussed in the last week was, in the olden times, the life was very slow, but there was no progress. In the modern times, what happens? The life is very fast-paced, but there is progress. But what happens? The stress and strain is also there. So what the Gita is saying is that you need both. You need peace of mind. You need a stress-free life. At the very same time, you should be hardworking and you should be gaining progress in the material world. So a lifestyle program designed by the Gita is going to help you to work hard, live a fast-paced life. At the very same time, you can find peace and happiness. This balanced lifestyle, which is the holistic approach, is the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita. We saw that what Shankaracharya said, Praninam Sachat Abhyudaya Nishrayasa Heduhu. This teaching is going to give you the econo-social welfare. It is going to give you the efficiency in action. It is going to make you a better person. It is going to perform, it will help you to perform well. It is going to help you to find the flow in your actions. At the very same time, it is going to keep you balanced. It is going to help you to find peace and contentment. And this is the value of the Gita. And this is very much relevant in the modern world. And that is why we are going to invest our time, effort, and energy in learning this 5,000-year-old scripture. So, this is the first topic we covered in our first lesson. Let's start with the first topic. What is Bhagavad Gita? So, let's start by understanding the literal meaning of the word Bhagavad Gita. So, when you look at the word Bhagavad Gita, it is a compound word constituting of two individual Sanskrit words. So, it can be splitted as Bhagavat plus Gita. The word Bhagavat plus Gita together constitute the compound word Bhagavad Gita. What is the meaning of the word Bhagavat? The literal meaning of the word Bhagavat is Bhagavans. That's it. It tells it is Bhagavans. Geetam literally means song or music. So if you combine these two words, you get the word Bhagavad Gita, which is a compound, and the meaning is Bhagavan's song. A song by Bhagavan or a song about Bhagavan, depending upon the grammar rule you use to interpret the word. There are two beautiful meanings you can make out of the word Bhagavad Gita. One is, the simple meaning is a song given out by Bhagavan, a song composed by Bhagavan. And the second meaning is a song about Bhagavan, a song that talks about Bhagavan, a song that describes the Bhagavan, a song that helps me to understand Bhagavan. This is the meaning of the word Bhagavad Gita. So if you extend that meaning a little bit further, you can say that Bhagavad Gita is a body of knowledge, right? Just like PMBOK is the body of knowledge for project management, Bhagavad Gita is a body of knowledge. But what is the speciality of this body of knowledge? It is in the form of a song, Geetam, right? This is a body of knowledge in the form of a song composed by none other than Bhagavan. So, once again, it's a body of knowledge in the form of a song composed by Bhagavan. Another meaning is, it's a body of knowledge in the form of a song about Bhagavan. This is the literal meaning of the word Bhagavad Gita. But that is not going to help us to connect with the Bhagavad Gita, the word. We understand that it is a body of knowledge about Bhagavan, or it's a body of knowledge given out by Bhagavan in the form of a song. But now the natural question is what? Who is this Bhagavan? We need to understand who is Bhagavan. So let's try to understand that word. So who is Bhagavan? That is the next question. So the word Bhaga, the Bhagavan is a beautiful Sanskrit word. The beauty of the Sanskrit or Sanskrit is that you can always derive the meaning of a word from its root. So the Bhagavan, the word literally means the one who has some quality called Bhaga. You all might have heard so many words. For example, Dhanavan or a Bhagyavan. Who is a Dhanavan? Dhanavan is a person, one who possesses Dhana. Dhana means wealth. And who is a Bhagyavan? A person who possesses Bhagya is Bhagyavan. So just like that, the one who possesses Bhaga is Bhagavan. Now the question is, what is this Bhaga? So this is beautifully defined by a scripture called Vishnu Purana. Vishnu Purana is one of the 18 Puranas in the portfolio of Sanatana Dharma. The Sanatana Dharma, which is our Dharma, is a fantastic culture with a lot of scriptures in it. And one type of scriptures we have is known as Puranas. And there are 18 Puranas, and one of the popular Purana is known as Vishnu Purana. This Vishnu Purana beautifully defines the term Bhagavan as one with Bhaga, and the Bhaga is defined as like 6 qualities in its fullest extent. Let's try to understand and then try to understand what exactly are those 6 qualities, and let's try to understand what is Bhagavan. The first one is knowledge. Knowledge, I have knowledge, you have knowledge, everybody has some knowledge. Even a baby monkey has some knowledge, right? Every living being in this universe has some knowledge or the other. But what is the difference between my knowledge and Bhagavan's knowledge? Bhagavan's knowledge means he knows everything. My knowledge is always limited. I know something, but Meaning there is what I don't know is much more than what I know. But if there is somebody, if there is a being who knows everything in this universe, that is Bhagavan. So jnana or knowledge in its infinite capacity, in its absolute capacity, that is one quality. Second one is known as Vairagya. Vairagya means dispassion. Dispassion means it's what I'm not attached, because having something and getting attached, binding attachment is two different things. Obviously, I have dispassion, but I am attached to so many things. So if there is a being who has that complete detachment, obviously he cares for everything, but he is not bound by anyone. If you take me, I am bound by so many things, right? My name, my possession, meaning the other people, I'm dependent upon them. I'm emotionally dependent upon them. I'm dependent upon them in many ways. I might be financially dependent. I might be professionally dependent. I might be emotionally dependent. I might be socially dependent. But if there is a being who is always a giver and who is not dependent upon anything else in the world, that is the absolute dispassion, and that is Bhagavan. And the third one is Virya. Virya means it is the power to create, sustain, and dissolve. Obviously, I also have some power to create, right? I can create a document, I can destroy that document, I can keep that document. But my power to create, my power to maintain, and my power to dissolve, it is very much limited. So if there is a being who has complete control over what is getting manifested in this universe, how it can be sustained, and finally how it can be taken back, that is Bhagavan. So we talked about Jnana, Vairagya, and Virya. Yashas. Yashas means fame. Yes, each one of us are famous in some way or the other. At least to your family, to your immediate family, and the people around you, you are famous. But your fame and my fame is pretty much limited. My fame is limited to a certain scope. Your fame is limited to a certain scope. The president's fame might be there in this entire world, but again it is limited. Even the fame of the president or the prime minister, they are limited. But if there is one being who is famous across the universe, in all the universes, wherever possible, that is Bhagavan. That is, Shri refers to wealth. Every one of us have some wealth or the other. But if there is a being who possesses the entire wealth in the entire universe, that is Bhagavan. And that is why he is known as Madhava. That is, there are several names in the Vishnu Sahasranama indicating that he is the possessor of the entire wealth in the universe. All type of wealth, the knowledge, the material wealth, everything. So that is Bhagavan. Finally, Aishwarya. Aishwarya means overlordship or the control. Yes, you have control over something, but there are so many things where you do not have control. So if there is a being who has complete control of everything in the universe, that is Bhagavan. So this is the scope of definition of the word Bhagavan. It's very big. And so that means it is the universal laws. It is the intelligence of the universe. It is the universal intelligence. See, mind you, right? A lot of times when you hear the word Bhagavan or God or whatever it is, you think that they are religious. Yes, there is a religious language to describe certain facts. But you can, if you are not a religious person, you can describe that using other languages. So for example, if you are averse to the word Bhagavan or the religious language, you can think about this as that power which controls the universe. There is a law, right, in the universe. You can see that. We are going to unfold this topic as we get into the Gita. And we are trying to understand the religious and non-religious language for everything. So this is the word Bhagavan. The universal intelligence, the divinity of the universe, the creative intelligence of the universe, the laws that governs the law, the intelligence power, the order that governs the laws of the universe, that is Bhagavan. And this is the universal principle and the cosmic order. So if you want to use a non-religious language, you can say that the Bhagavan is that order that governs and controls, right, the working of the universe. that governs the laws of nature, which makes sure that the laws of nature are enforced properly. It makes sure that the universe is sustained properly. That is Bhagavan. Vishnu Purana also gives one more definition. It tells that principle which understands and manages the creation, sustenance, and the dissolution of the universe is also Bhagavan. So this is the Bhagavan. So the take-home message is the one with Bhaga is Bhagavan. The Bhaga gives all the qualities, all the powers in its infinite form. If you translate that to a non-religious language, it means this is the order of the universe that controls and sustains and take care of this whole universal laws. And that Bhagavan, if that Bhagavan has given out a body of knowledge for the well-being of the humanity, that is Bhagavad Gita. Or in other words, you can say that if there is a body of knowledge that gives us some connection, some understanding about the universal laws of the nature, what should be the nature of myself? How should I act in this world? How can I act in this world so that I can be efficient at the very same time? I can be meaning peaceful and happy. So this is the body of knowledge. This is who has given out this body of knowledge. It is given out by the Bhagavan for the welfare of the humanity. So this is the word Bhagavan. Let's try to continue this topic. So what is Bhagavad Gita? As I explained earlier, it is a celestial symphony or song given out by Bhagavan. So the literal meaning is it is Bhagavan songs or the song about the Bhagavan or the divine essence. And this is a universal gift. Why? Because this how you should live your life so that you can be master of your life. You can lead an effective life. You can live a happy life. That is given out none other than by the universal intelligence, and that is a universal gift. And this is the guidance for harmony. This body of knowledge in the form of a song, this is going to serve as a guide for living a life according to the cosmic laws and principle. When you live your life according to the cosmic laws and principle, the life will be harmonious. It will find resonance with the universal laws. And that is going to make your life a meaningful life. That is going to make your life a happy life. And that is going to make your life a contented life. And that is the benefit of this body of knowledge. And that is what is Bhagavad. So in one way, it is a song or the body of knowledge given out by Bhagavan for the benefit of the humanity. On the other side, it gives out the nature of the Bhagavan or the universal law so that I can get aligned with that. So that's the two, that is what is Bhagavad Gita. That is the literal meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. So now let's go to the second topic, which is what is the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita? So there is a lot of subjects covered in the Bhagavad Gita. 80 or 90 or 100 different topics are covered in the Gita, which we are going to unfold. But on a high level, there are two major topics covered in the Bhagavad Gita. The first topic is known as Brahma Vidya, and the second topic is known as Yoga Shastra. What is Brahma Vidya? It is the knowledge about the divine or the universal intelligence or the reality of the universe. And also it talks about the real nature of myself. So this is Brahma Vidya. So in other words, it is the knowledge about yourself and it is the knowledge about the Ishvara or the universal intelligence. And second thing is what? Yoga Shastra. It is a detailed step-by-step course to master your mind, to master your body, to master your breathing. And also it provides a way of life so that I can get connected with the divine and the true nature of myself. So if Brahma Vidya is a knowledge, Yoga Shastra is the practical means by which I can get connected. I can get to know that Brahma Vidya, what is described in the Brahma Vidya. And this Yoga Shastra is going to offer a way of life which is holistic. When I say the word holistic, don't get worried. It's not something which cannot be defined. When Gita talks about holistic, it means that it's a balanced lifestyle. It's not rejecting the world. It is not rejecting your family. It is not rejecting your material possessions. It is a lifestyle which aligns your day-to-day life, your material life, and the spiritual life. And when you lead that life, you will be happy, you will be efficient. At the very same time, you will be marching towards the ultimate goal of your life. It is going to take you to the best version of yourself. And this is a timeless version. And this is the two major topic of the Bhagavad Gita: Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. So Brahma Vidya means it is mainly talking about the oneness between the individual and the cosmic essence, the Brahman. So the individual, the Gita, right now it's a hypothesis. We are not going to talk about that right now, but later point of time, we are going to explore this topic later. So Gita is going to reveal the true identity of myself and the true identity of the reality of the universe and establish that they are one and the same. It talks about the fact that the individual, the Jiva, the Ishvara or the universal intelligence and the universe, it tells that there is an unseen relationship between these three entities. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the individual, the universe and Ishvara, there is an unseen interconnectedness. There is a common thread that binds all these three together. That is the unifying reality of the universe. And this is the groundbreaking, this is the fantastic teachings that Gita provides. And that is explored through the topic Brahma Vidya. This is what the Brahma Vidya is, essentially. And I already explained what is Yoga Shastra. It is mastering your mind and yourself. So it is going to help you to develop a pure, calm, controlled mental state. See, mind you, right? If you're not interested, even if you're not interested in the spirituality, if you're not interested in religion, but this aspect of the Gita, which is going to help you to develop a pure, calm, controlled mind, that itself is priceless. Even if you want to pursue any goals in your life, whether it is your promotion or whether it is your success in the family, you need this. So this mind management, emotional balance, and these two are must-have life skills for anybody in the world. Even if you have zero interest in spirituality, this is an absolute must life skills. And this is going to lead you to the path of growth, and it is going to give you the tools for prosperity, how to manage your stress, how to be efficient, how to get connected with the higher. So this is a fantastic teaching, right? So this is Gita's unique contribution to the world or the humanity, this yoga. So this Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra, the knowledge as well as the practical instructions on realizing that knowledge, that value. This is the two subject matter covered by the Gita. So we talked about what is the literal meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a body of knowledge in the form of a song given out by Bhagavan for the welfare of the humanity, or it is a body of knowledge that helps the human being to understand the divine so that he or she can get aligned with that order of the universe. So this is the literal meaning. And then we talked about the two subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita. One is Brahma Vidya, the other one is Yoga Shastra. So let's pause and do a quick reflection. As I explained, we do have a lot of quotes for reflection. So today's quote is, the Bhagavad Gita, it's a symphony orchestrated by the divine, for it guides us towards a purposeful life, sustained in pure elation. This is priceless. So Gita, you can see in the picture also, you can see it lays out a path. So in that path, it's a calm path, and it leads you to that ultimate destination of the life, which is represented by sun with a symbol Om. So this is what Gita does. So that covers the first topic. Let's move to the third topic, meaning the first topic we covered was why should we study Bhagavad, and then we talked about what is Bhagavad. Now let's get into one of the most important topic, what is Dharma. So the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, what exactly is the focus of the Bhagavad Gita? The very opening and closing verses of the Bhagavad Gita reveals what is the core message of the Bhagavad Gita. So look at the chapter 1, shloka 1, and look at chapter 18, shloka 78. So the first shloka, it tells Dharma Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yuyutsuvaha, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kima Kuruvata Sanjaya. So it starts with the first word called Dharma. You can see that here. Dharma is the first word. And the last word is Yatra Madhur Mama. So the last word is mama. So the first word and the last word is dharma and mama. If you flip and form a word, it is told as mama dharma. Brilliantly, this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is the last word plus first word put together. It is mama, literally means my, dharma means dharma. So the primary teachings of the Bhagavad Gita is knowing and living our individual as well as the collective dharma. This is what is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. But now the question is, what is dharma? This is one of the most complicated word. So we don't want to understand something as abstract concepts. We wanted to make sure that we are understanding that and relating that with our life. So let's try to understand what is the meaning of the word dharma. So let's say that the word dharma, often represented by a wheel in the Ashoka Chakra, meaning the famous king in the Buddhist tradition, Hindu tradition, all the dharmic tradition recognize dharma, and often it is represented by a circular wheel. And what is the word, meaning the word dharma has different meanings. So if you look at Sanskrit, it is a very context sensitive language. This context sensitive language means depending upon the context, the meaning of a word varies. So the word dharma can mean that duty, it can mean justice, it can mean virtue, it can mean even religion, it can mean righteousness, etc. So in the Sanskrit dictionaries, you can see even pages after pages giving different meaning of the dharma. So the context is pretty much significant to understand the meaning of the word dharma. So when we say that dharma is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, my dharma is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, don't think that my religion is the focus in Bhagavad Gita or duty is the only focus in Bhagavad Gita. The word we use dharma in the Bhagavad Gita, it has a very big meaning. It has a larger meaning. So let's try to understand what exactly it is. So what is dharma? So if you want to understand dharma, the best way is go back to the Sanskrit root. It came from the word dhr. It means to hold or sustain. So what exactly is the word dharma? It means that which holds everything together. That which holds everything together. So what exactly it is? So in this universe, the essential dharma is that which makes sure that this whole entire universe is functioning exactly as it is. And if you just close your eyes and think about that, right? So you think the universe, how it functions, you can see a precise law. The sun, every day, morning the sun comes, there is a day, in the evening there is a night, the season changes, you can see how the plants absorbs the energy from the sun, how it is converted to food, and when it goes to my mouth, how it is digested, how my body functions. You can see a precise order, precise harmony or order in this universe. You need to know, right, how everything's put together, how everything moves exactly as it is. If there is a small change, if you study the physics, you understand. In the atomic particle or even in the cosmology, if you think that if the velocity of the sun is slightly higher than it is, right, what is going to happen? It will just go out of the orbit. And if it is slightly slow, you know that it may pulled into the sun. So you know that the universe functions somewhere, some laws are enforced properly. And this is exactly what is dharma. So you can see that laws which make sure that there is a harmony in the universe. These laws, meaning the universe is functioning exactly properly. That is the larger meaning of the dharma. For example, if the laws of motion, if the planetary laws of motions are not there, what happened? It's a chaos, right? If takes, for example, if the body has certain laws, right? How the heart pumps, how the insulin is produced. If there is a slight change in that law, that system get affected. For example, if you look at your traffic system, there is a law that governs the traffic system. And if that law is slightly violated, you know that it is a chaos. Accident will happen. So what exactly hold a country together? If I may ask you, it's the constitution of the country. It is the constitution of the country that meaning put the country together, holds the country together, make sure that the country is functioning exactly as it is needed to be. So like that, if you imagine that there is a universal constitution which defines laws for everything in this universe, and that universal constitution is created by Ishvara for the benefit of the humanity, that is what is Dharma. So that is the natural order. Meaning, if you violate that rule, I may get affected. For example, if there is a traffic law and if I follow the traffic law, I am the one who is getting benefited. If I cut through a red light, what is going to happen? I am going to affect myself and I am going to create chaos for others. So like that, those rules which I have to follow, for what? For ensuring the harmony of the universe, ensuring the harmony of myself, that is what is Dharma. And this is based upon certain values, and that is what is Dharma. So that's why I call it as a universal constitution. Just like a constitution of a country, meaning holds the country together. The constitution of the universe holds the entire universe together. And that is what is Dharma. And the ethics and the virtues, everything comes in that. Because collectively, all these put together is the larger context of the Dharma. I know that this could be a little bit of complicated. In the Q&A session, we can answer any questions on that. Now, the thing is that if there is a law, somebody has to govern this law in the country, right? Who governs the constitution and make sure that the constitution is affected? It is the government as well as the judiciary, right? The three pillars of a democracy. That is what maintains the constitution. Like that, who maintains this Dharma in the universe? It is Bhagavan. So the universal intelligence makes sure that the Dharma is enforced in this universe. And this is a cosmic equilibrium. The Bhagavan oversees the law. It is from the subatomic particle to the galaxy level. You can see, right? What physics does is they just identify the law. Meaning Einstein didn't invent the law of, meaning the general theory of relativity. Niels Bohr didn't invent the rules that governs the atom. Schrodinger didn't invent the quantum mechanics. He discovered a perfectly established law. So that laws are the universal intelligence. You can call it in Ishvara in a religious term, or you can call it as universal intelligence if you want to look at from a different point of view. So this is what it is. The cosmic equilibrium is maintained by the Dharma, which is the natural laws of the universe. This perfect order in nature and this cosmic order cosmos is maintained by Ishvara. So this is some of the larger definitions of the Dharma. So in our individual life also, this Dharma is very much valued. So if I define Dharma as a collection of laws which facilitate stability and harmony in my life, there is a physical Dharma which governs the universe's physical stability, right? So the laws of nature, all that comes under the physical Dharma. I can think about my body Dharma, right? What exactly is the rules I need to follow to live a healthy life, a happy life? That constitutes the body Dharma. For example, you can understand the body Dharma as the healthy living. So if I eat always junk food and if I live a sedentary lifestyle, what is going to happen? I am violating the body Dharma. So what is going to happen? I am going to create a disharmony in that order. And when there is a disharmony in that order, it will affect me. And I can think about my mental Dharma. The mind needs to be kept in certain state. So if I don't follow that rules, if I create disharmony in the mental Dharma, that is going to create a problem. And there is a social Dharma. For example, right, I need to, meaning in the society, I need to make certain rules. I don't want to cut across somebody's rights. All that comes under the social Dharma. And when I try to do that, what is going to happen? Disharmony happens and the violation of Dharma creates in disharmony and problem. This is the beautiful definition of Dharma given by the Gita. This is the beautiful definition of the Dharma given by the Vedanta. So please don't think that this is only religion. This has a larger context. And when you talk about Mama Dharma, that is what is given in the Gita. So whenever the Dharma is disrupted, the consequences will be there, right? Whenever I violate Dharma, what happens? The violations of Dharma will result in disturbance in the balance maintained by the universal intelligence. For example, if I try to destroy the nature always, right? If I try to pollute my river, I don't have to explain you. You see the global warming and all such issues. So why? Because I'm trying to disturb that equilibrium, which is maintained by Bhagavan. So the social chaos, right? If I started, for example, the traffic laws, if I violate, it is going to create a chaos. The health, if you don't follow your healthy lifestyle, it can create imbalances, environmental impact, and any such. Whenever I violate dharma, what is going to happen? You are affecting that natural order of the universe, and it can lead to suffering. It can lead to sort of problem. Swami Dayananda Saraswati often used to say this word: when we rub against the order of dharma, it rubs back harder, and it is going to inflicting pain and suffering. And it's a gentle reminder from the Bhagavan, right, to make sure that realign with that cosmic order. So you're not punished for your wrong action. You are punished because you are violating that order. Okay, so the dharma, if I am not following the dharma, it is going to affect me. So what is the intelligent lifestyle? If I'm intelligent, for example, let's take the health example alone and the traffic example alone. If I am an intelligent person, would I lead a sedentary life or would I try to follow a healthy lifestyle? If I follow my body dharma, what is going to happen? It is going to reward me with health. And if I violate that body dharma, I will get punished or I will get affected by that disruption of dharma. This is the problem. This is the key point we need to understand. So an intelligent person, what he does, he will align with the dharmic path. He will make sure that he will understand his dharma and he will tune his life with dharma so that it will be fruitful, it will be aligned with the cosmic order, and this is the guidance Gita provides to us. It will help us to understand the dharmic values. It will help me to align my actions and choices with respect to that dharmic values. And that is why it is known as a body of knowledge given out by Bhagavan for my benefit, for your benefit, for the benefit of the entire humanity. This is very important. So let's go to the next quote, which is the Whispers of Eternity, Gita's reflection, number 4. By embracing dharma, what exactly we are doing? We are tuning into that grand symphony of the universe. And when I violate dharma, what is going to happen? I'm going to disconnect from that order of the universe. And as a result, I get affected. So this is the important topic, the essence of the Gita, which is dharma. Let's go to the final topic of today. What is the structure of the Bhagavad Gita? So the structure of the Bhagavad Gita, as you know, like Bhagavad Gita is a literal masterpiece. It's such a beautiful composition by Veda Vyasa. There are 701 verses across 18 chapters, and it is composed in elegant Sanskrit language. So this has 18 chapters, 701 verses. And each verse, it's a building block into that entire framework. Just like a brick forms an inherent part, a critical part of a huge house, like that, each verse forms an intrinsic part of this overall framework. And there is a beautiful connection between verse 1 to the verse 701. So this is what we are going to unfold in our class from Shloka 1 to Shloka 701. What is that connection? From chapter to chapter, what is the connection? So the simple structure is 18 chapters, 701 verses. And there are 2 meters. We know that this is a poetry and this is composed in 2 rhythmic patterns. One is Anushtup and the other one is Trishtup. So, for example, the chapter 1, verse 1 is in Anushtup, which is a very popular meter. The Anushtup is always characterized by 4 lines and each line with 8 syllables. So, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsuvaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvada Sanjaya. This is 4 lines. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre is 1 line. Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvada Sanjaya. So you can see that each line has 8 syllables. Whereas Trishtup, whenever there is a situational change, See, in olden times, we didn't have highlighters, we didn't have these fancy tools like PowerPoint and all these graphics. Vyasa had to communicate this through poetry. So, whenever he wanted to highlight, whenever we wanted to bring the attention, whenever the context changes, he used a different meter. That meter change is always an alert for people to understand that the meter changed from the topic changed and you need attention. So, for example, chapter 2, verse 7, Karpanya dosho pakata swabhava prischami tvam dharma sammuta cheta. Yashreyas you can see that compared to Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, Karpanya dosho pakata swabhava has 3 syllables more. So, the chanting tune will change and you will understand that it has changed. So just understand that this structure of the Gita, there are 2 meters. One is Anushtup and the other one is Trishtup. And these 2 meters are pretty much popular in the epics and the Vedas and all the scriptures. Anushtup and Trishtup. And then what is the structure of the Bhagavad Gita? There are 18 chapters. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is a problem statement. That is what we are going to see. If Bhagavad Gita is addressing a problem for humanity, right? What is that universal problem? It cannot be Rajesh's problem. It cannot be Avanti's problem. It cannot be Vikrant's problem alone. It could be a problem that is applicable to all the human beings at all time. What is that problem statement? We are going to see. A lot of time people think that it is an Arjuna's problem. No, it is my problem. So we need to understand from chapter 1, the context of the chapter 1 is going to give you the problem statement, which is addressed by the Bhagavad Gita. And chapter 2 is an overview of the entire teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And chapter 3 is an elaboration of the entire topic mentioned in the chapter 2. So chapter 2, you can see that as an index of a book. What are the topics covered in the entire Gita? So if you study one chapter, please study chapter 2 because it is the summary of the entire Gita. And finally, chapter 18 is a recap, again summarizes. So it's like a news bulletin, right? So when a news bulletin starts, what they do first, they give the headlines and then each headline will be elaborated and finally it will be recapped. So this is the modern communication style and that is exactly what is followed by the Gita. You give the problem statement, you give what exactly is the summary, headlines or the key points, and then you elaborate on that key points, and finally you recap. Samkshepa, Vistara, Samkshepa. This is how the Sanskrit calls. Samkshepa means summary, Vistara means you detail it, and finally you Samkshepa, summarize it. How the structure of the Bhagavad Gita and the structure of each chapter. So one more dicing and slicing is there. You can see the Bhagavad Gita, 6 chapters as one major topic. So one of the key things which is highlighted in the Bhagavad Gita is to establish that identity between the individual and the reality of the universe. Tattvam Asi. So the first 6 chapters predominantly, now it's not that the other topics are not covered. The primary focus of the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita is Tvam, the individual. Who am I? What shall I do? What is the nature of myself? How do I take care of certain issues I have with myself? All that is addressed. What is the fundamental problem of a human being? And the second 6 chapters focuses 7 to 11, 12 focuses on the nature of the Ishvara or the divine, Tvam. And finally, the last 6 chapter establish that identity. So this whole Gita can be considered as an elaboration of the Upanishadic statements Tattvamasi. Again, this is a loose classification. Don't think that only the Tattvam is covered in the first 6 chapters. No, this is another way of looking at the Gita. So let's go to the 5th quote. So wading through the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verse spread across 18 chapters. What we do, we slowly try to understand the intimacy between our inner world and outer world and help to get a harmony between that. So that's what we wanted to cover in the second lesson. We talked about what is Bhagavad Gita. We understood Bhagavad Gita as a body of knowledge in the form of a song given by universal intelligence as a manual of life for the human beings. It can also be seen as a body of knowledge that helps humans to understand the universal intelligence and align with the natural order. What is the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita? We saw that Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya is nothing but it is the knowledge about myself and it is knowledge about Ishvara. And Yoga Shastra is the practical step-by-step exploration of the steps I need to take to get aligned with that knowledge. What is the essence of Dharma? It is of the first chapter, last word from the last verse of the 18th chapter. Dharma and Mama, when you form that, Mama Dharma, my Dharma. And we understood Dharma not just as religion, not just as duty, not just as charity. We identified Dharma as a collection of laws facilitating the stability and harmony of the universe. And finally, we saw the structure of the Bhagavad Gita. It has 18 chapters, 701 verses, and it is composed in 2 meters, and Anushtup and Trishtup. Chapter 1 is the problem statement. Chapter 2 is the overview. Chapter 3 to 17 is the details, and chapter 18 is the recap. And also we can see that chapter 1 to 6 focus on the individual, chapter 7 to 8 focus on the Ishvara, and chapter 13 to 18 focus on that connectivity. This is the recap.